Okay, cool. Awesome.
Thank you. He said only these people.
Hi, everybody. You guys doing okay? Make some noise if you can.
How'd I do?
Do me a favor and clap your hands. Very nice. But T is for the way the technology be doing it now. E is for that entertainment, yes, so that I'm bringing to you. Clap your hands. D is for that design, you know the design is so fine. Yeah. The X is what they do. The students, yeah, they planning for you coming through. Where we at? The TEDxBentleyU. Yeah. Clap your hands. Come on. Clap your hands. Come on. BentleyU. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Excellent.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. So what does it mean to be up? When I think of what it means to be up, I think of first what it means to be the opposite of being up. So what does it mean to be down? When I know that I'm down, I see the nothing in everything, and I view everything as an impossibility. And I'm pretty much a very hard person to deal with. I find myself driving from the absence of others. And this sense of isolation really doesn't do anything good for me. So as a result, I usually fail at whatever it is that I'm doing. On the converse, when I am up, when I'm feeling good, I am in a very positive place, and I see the possibilities in things. And this is something that I want to share with other people, and I really feel a strong need to connect with other people and share that gift. So for me, I'd rather be up when I really think about it that way. I'd rather be in a position where I can be taking care of what I need to take care of for myself and take care of others. And I could leave it right there, but I was really interested in this topic. So I decided to do an informal survey where I asked several of my friends, about 82 of my friends, 3 basic questions that I'll go over with you. So the first question is, compared to where you would like to be, how would you describe the current state of your life? A little bit of a heavy question, I'm not going to lie. People are like, Adam, what's going on? But the answers that I got indicated a range from basically from worse to better, which indicated that nobody was at the worst point of their life, nobody was at the absolute best point of their life. Some of the things that informed this scale that I found in the answers that I got from the survey, when people are worse, they've described themselves, when things are worse for people, they describe themselves as being out of control, being out of balance in some way. And unfortunately, another thing would be something that we're experiencing in the world right now. Traumatic events have a way of making things go in the worst direction. When things are bad, it's much more of a personal approach, as indicated by the comments: failure, embarrassment, guilt, shame. And switching to the good side of things, people indicated that family, achieving a work-life balance, and just overall finding ways to be thankful for what it is that they do have were things that made people, characterize people as good. Better is really the bonus category, and it's unexpected gains. Things are going well. One individual shared that they decided to quit their job. They just started their own business, and as a result, that business was successful, so things went from good to better, so taking a positive risk. So the second question was, from your perspective, describe what has led you to the current state of your life. And there were two main themes that I saw here: setbacks or challenges, nothing new there, and also advancements or achievements. So the things that made people, maybe have to step out of the game are the same things that made people come into the game and achieve things. Both of these could have a positive or a negative outcome. So for example, for someone with advancing in life, let's say somebody gets a job that they really wanted to get, but they get into the job and they realize that perhaps that job maybe wasn't for them, or they didn't realize certain things. So as a result, maybe things might take a downward turn. So the third question was, how did you deal with what you described in number 3? And basically this was very easy. Either things got better, things stayed the same, or things got worse. So what does this mean? When I really thought about what this means, and I thought about the answers that were given, it seemed that to go from good to better, or even from better to good, not a big deal, pretty easy. People, seem pretty comfortable with that. But the real issue was when people decided or had to deal with things that were below good. And you really view this time below good as kind of a downward spiral. And it made me think about the term that I've used a lot in my life of being down to do this and down to do that. And it made me think, why don't we instead put stock and strength in what it means to be up? So that really ties into the hashtag that I use. I've been using the hashtag for a very long time, but it really wasn't until I asked my friends what they thought about topics that relate to the hashtag, and as a result, I'm much more well-informed. So really interesting things that I found there. There are 3 main themes that I wanted to talk about today that I found in the survey, and also just in thinking about things. They have to do with digestion, balance, and momentum. So digestion is an interesting term. I'm not going to get biological on you. It's definitely not my wheelhouse. But a person's capacity to break down food into substances that can be used by the body. I think this is a great way to think about how we need to deal with things and process things in our life. To me, it's a little bit more than processing. It's a little bit more than just dealing with it, because you actually have to make the decision like your body has to make the decision. What can I keep? What can I learn from? What can I hold on to? What is nutritious to me? And what do I need to just let go and send on down the line? So one of the main themes that was mentioned under this area of digestion, dealing with things, is basically the idea of loss. It's something, when we lose a loved one, it's, again, a very difficult situation. It's very hard to push past that. And unlike when you hurt yourself, you can heal and you kind of move on with the rest of your life. You never really move on with the rest of your life. So a part of you is not there anymore because that person is not there, because you love that person. And what I found in my own experiences, I actually unfortunately lost both of my parents within about a year of each other when I was a senior in my undergraduate career and my first year of grad school. It was a very tough time. I could sit up here and I could tell you that I found a way to push through it, but I had a really tough time. I had a really, really difficult time, but thanks to a little help from my friends, I got to a better place. And once I was able to think of things in this sense, there are no quick fixes. We talk a lot in this world about how, there's a shortcut to this and a short route to this, but there is no quick fix. When you lose someone that you love, you have to deal with it. And for me, on a personal level, I've had to deal with it. And it has been easy, as I mentioned, but as a result, I have been able to do things and find ways to understand that I have this experience now, and that this experience that I have is extremely important and valuable to share with other people. So as a result, I've done some very cool things. I work a lot with the Kidney Cancer Association, and I try to make myself available for people who are unfortunately dealing with loss. So balance is the second theme, and that's basically when different elements are equal or in the correct proportions. Really basic idea, nothing new here. It's important to achieve balance in your life in order to move forward, to be able to sustain the things that you want to do. So something that I talk about in my classes quite a bit is my definition of integrity. And I would define integrity basically as the consistency between what you value and how you act or your behaviors. So if there's any inconsistency, for me personally, if I notice any inconsistency between what I value and how I'm acting in my behavior, I know immediately that there's some type of imbalance, and I can immediately work to try to sustain the type of balance that works for me. So a quick story, when I was a small little lad a long time ago, I had a dream, and at the time when I had this dream, I was feeling as though my life was out of balance, I guess you could say. So I had this dream that quickly turned into a nightmare because I was visited by a scarecrow. And I'm not talking like ease on down the road, yellow brick road type fella. I'm talking about a dude who was probably 10 feet tall, glowing red eyes. And if he could talk, he'd probably sound like Barry White, and it'd be very intimidating. So I had this dream. This scarecrow came to visit me, and really scared me quite a bit. But what it did is it helped me when I woke up, and after I gathered myself, I was able to realize that was a reminder to me that I need to get my life into balance. So whatever it is that works for you, if it's a 10-foot scarecrow or if it's a friend or family member, whatever you need to do to set your reminders, to basically remind yourself to check yourself before you wreck yourself. And that's by the great poet of our time, Mr. O'Shea Jackson. Very important to do. The last area that I want to talk with you about is momentum. Momentum is the strength or force that allows something to continue to grow stronger as time passes. This is about as scientific as I get. This is obviously the world that you see here on the screen. In any given day, the world turns anywhere from 20,000 to 40,000 kilometers within that 24-hour period. And within that motion that is built and sustained, many other things in life are possible. So I think the human condition is also very similar to that of the momentum that needs to happen on this earth in which we live, in that we need to build and sustain momentum for ourselves and for those around us so that we can basically do our job. So today, the theme today is Ignite, and it's about kind of what ignited or sparked this passion in each of our lives, and how has that inspired other people. For me, I have many different things that have sparked my passions in life. And I've been performing my whole life in some way, singing, acting, trying to dance, which I don't do very well. But I do try it once in a while. But when I thought about what was it that really ignited me, as not only as a musician, but as a person, and it really ignited my passions, I think about one experience. As I said, my whole life I've been doing a lot of performing, but it really wasn't until I was in my undergraduate career at the University of Central Florida where I realized that I wanted to share these original songs that I keep coming up with, but I was afraid to do so. I don't know why. I wasn't nervous or anything. I just had an apprehension to share these songs. And my friends would always encourage me, but it didn't really work. And it took an unlikely source. One of my fraternity brothers called me up one day and said, "Hey, Adam, we're going to this open mic at this pub, basically where people come and play music. And, we wondered if you wanted to grab one of your songs and come down." And I could have easily said, "No, I'm not interested." But for some reason, I said, "Sure, I will. I'll do that." So I went to the open mic. I played a 6.5-minute song, the first song I ever wrote, called Peace. And after that, I was no longer afraid to share my gifts with the world. And it just took somebody coming to basically find me and take me and help me to ignite what was possible. So as a result of that, I've had great experiences. I've been able to go all around this nation, all around the world with my music, and I'm very happy with those experiences. But I think most importantly, through my musical experiences, I've really been able to find my true passion in life. And that has a lot to do with helping people and with helping others to be inspired and to ignite the spark that exists within them. And on this very campus over the last decade, I was lucky enough to work in different positions where I've been able to help people to understand what action can they take to demonstrate the type of potential that they want to demonstrate in their life. And I feel very fortunate that I've been able to provide these things, great memories, but like I said, this is really what is my true passion in life, and I'm very happy that I've been able to share that with the Bentley community and other places as well. So listening for the signs to be up is very important. Back in the day when I was a MySpacer, I don't know if anybody remembers that little thing, I was at a time in my life when I was kind of down a little bit, and I happened to find this MySpace profile for the paranormal, and it had basically very jazzy hip-hop type music that I found very comforting, and I enjoyed it. I downloaded all of his albums on a whim. I emailed, I MySpaced, that's right, I MySpaced. It was coming back to me. I MySpaced the paranormal, and I said, "Hey, I just wanted to reach out and let you know I really appreciate your music. I'm going through a tough time in my life, and it's really helping me out, so thank you very much." Thought it would end there. He wrote me right back, a couple minutes later and said, "Thank you. I see that you're a musician as well. I'm looking actually for somebody to come and sing some songs on a new project that I have. So I wondered if you might be interested in it. He sent me a track that was an ode to hip hop, I believe. I sent him back the chorus, and from there we've collaborated on over 20 songs, different albums. He's been on a few of my albums as well. And I think more importantly, with the friendship and the collaboration partner that I have in the paranormal, it helped me understand that there's a lot more that's possible. And it helped to inspire me to work with other artists and work with other people. I'm very thankful to the paranormal for allowing that experience to happen. So here's the kind of the ending part. You can look out your window, you can see this view right here, you can view the impossibilities, you can think about all the things that bring you down and the seductive pull that downward spiral shows. Or you can look at this and see this and think to yourself, what is possible and what can I do to build and sustain momentum and to have balance and to actually deal with things in my life? So to be up or not to be up, that could be the question, I guess, right now. It's really up to you. I can't tell you to be up or not to be up. It's really up to you. For myself personally, I know what my passions are. I know what it is that motivates me and what it is that I have a responsibility to speak to welcome, to work with in my life. And I'm very thankful for these opportunities. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without a little help from my friends and with a little help from other people. So my message to you is really to be up. I think it's a very simple message, and I will leave you with this. That kind of sums up everything that I've talked about. When I'm dealing with things, I can maintain balance. When I maintain balance, I can gain momentum. And when I gain momentum, I can keep going. So I would encourage everyone, please, to be up. Thank you very much.